Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea from the world of leadership called True North. It's all about becoming an authentic leader, and it comes from the work of author Bill George. So let's get right into it.
First things first, let's talk about the problem. I mean, you've seen it, right? We see it in the headlines, maybe even in our own companies. Leaders who start off with so much promise, but then they just derail, sometimes in a big, spectacular way. So what is going on here? Why do so many people with power seem to completely lose their compass? The book really hits the nail on the head with this one. It suggests that as a culture, we've gotten a little obsessed with the wrong things. We pick leaders for their charisma, not their character, for their style, not their substance. We look at the image instead of the integrity. And that one mistake, well, it's created a massive crisis in leadership.
Okay, so before we can find our own true north, we've got to understand the common traps. We need to look at why leaders get lost in the first place so we can learn how to stay on the right path ourselves.
Now, the stuff we're about to talk about isn't just theory. It's grounded in some serious research. We're talking about 125 deep, personal interviews with leaders from every walk of life imaginable. CEOs, entrepreneurs, you name it. They ranged in age from 23 all the way up to 93. And when you look at all their stories together, some really clear patterns start to show up about why leaders fail. So the research pointed to 5 common ways leaders go off the rails. You've got the imposters, who are secretly just terrified they aren't good enough. Then there are the rationalizers, who bend their own rules, telling themselves, oh, it's just this one time. You've got the glory seekers, who are basically addicted to fame and money. The loners, who try to do everything by themselves. And finally, the shooting stars, who burn out fast because they have zero work-life balance. Sound familiar? I bet you can picture a few people right now.
All right, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's talk about the solution. The core argument here is that to avoid all those traps, you don't need some new management fad or a complicated 10-step plan. All you really need is an internal compass.
And this is what makes your true north so incredibly powerful. It is 100% yours. You can't just copy-paste it from somebody else. It's that fixed point in a world that's always spinning, and it's built on your deepest beliefs, your core values. And it only comes from one place, your own life. This is the absolute key to the whole thing. Authentic leaders don't pretend to be someone they're not. They actually dig deep into their own stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, to find out what really motivates them. And a perfect example of this is Howard Schultz, the guy who built Starbucks. This quote is just so powerful because of where it comes from. As a kid, Howard Schultz saw his dad get hurt on the job, get fired, and lose his health insurance and his dignity right along with it. That single, painful memory became his true north. See, his mission wasn't really about coffee. It was about creating a company that treated its employees with respect. That is how a life story turns into a leadership mission. So the big question is, how do you actually do this? How do you find your own true north? Well, the book lays out a really clear, practical framework to get you there. Just think of it as a roadmap for your own journey to becoming a more authentic leader. Here it is. It all starts with self-awareness, really getting honest with yourself. Then it's about defining your values, those non-negotiables you live by. Next up, you have to understand your motivations. What actually gets you fired up in the morning? Fourth, and this is huge, you build a support team, because nobody does this alone. And finally, you work toward an integrated life where the person you are at work is the same person you are at home.
Now let's zoom in on that third step, motivations, because there's a really important difference here. Look, we all have external or extrinsic motivators, things like money, titles, status. But authentic leaders are guided by their intrinsic motivations, things like growing as a person or making a real difference. The trick is to balance both, but to always anchor your true north in what drives you from the inside.
And this all leads us to the ultimate goal, the real payoff of this whole journey. Because finding your true north isn't just some navel-gazing exercise. It actually has a profound, transformative effect on how you lead and what you can achieve.
Ultimately, this whole journey leads to a massive shift in how you see the world. Leadership stops being about your personal ambition, your success. It stops being about I. And instead, it becomes about empowering other people, about serving a cause that's way bigger than yourself. It becomes about the success of the we.
Think about that for a second. The goal isn't to create a bunch of followers who just do what you say. It's to empower them to lead. This is the big move from being the hero who has all the answers to being a leader who creates other leaders. You're building capacity in your team, not dependence on you.
And this right here is the final goal. Your personal journey to find your own true north connects directly to a much larger collective purpose. When you lead authentically, you create a space where other people can find their true north too. And that is how you unleash the full potential of an entire organization. So, we'll leave you with the 2 questions the book asks every single one of us. Finding your true north isn't about waiting for a promotion or for someone to tap you on the shoulder. It's a choice. It's a choice to step up and lead from right where you are right now. So, what's your answer going to be?